we've got all the parts we need for the Ragley Marley build. So I'm just going to quickly run through what we're going to have in terms of parts, and then we'll do a flash build video. Nothing like the Big Wig one, which went on for hours and hours and hours. So first of all, drivetrain. Same bottom bracket, XT M8000 shifter, XT M8000 rear mech or derailleur, Uber bike components, outer and inner cables with ferrules, an 11-speed Shimano chain, what type, not a fucking clue, a 11 to 51 tooth M5100 Dior cassette, Shimano M7000 SLX cranks with an XT chainring 32 tooth, they're 170mm arms, some DMR V11 pedals. Moving on to brakes. So these are Shimano M7000 brakes with 180mm Shimano RT 80 something N180mm Ice-Tech rotors, a brake disc mount adapter because I'll need that for the frame and associated bolts. In terms of cockpit, we've got a Renthal fat bar light carbon handlebar. What do you call it? Yeah, handlebar. A Ragley 50mm stem. I've also got a Wahoo computer on there because everything we do is just Wahoo. Some Hope spacers. Some fill grips. They're nice and soft, to be honest. They're actually a really good grip. In terms of the dropper and seat, so dropper is a Brand X Ascend 125mm dropper with Hope seat clamp and a WTV Coda saddle. We've also got a Hope headset and a Hope, they're called Head Doctor, something like that. But that's to replace the need for a staff angle nut because they're a bit rubbish. We've got bottle cage, some Wahoo sensors. In terms of the wheels, that's taken care of by some DT Swiss M1900s. It's a good lightweight wheel, to be honest. It's going to be more than man enough for what we're doing with this build. Maxxis inner tubes, yes, still on tubes. Some Minion DHR2 tyres, and these are about 50 miles old. The Marzocchi Bomber Z2 forks, 130mm. These are the things that probably delayed this build more than anything else, including the frame. And last but not least, the Ragley Marley frame itself. So let's get this in the bike stand and let's start the build. The frame is in the stand, so let's get the bike protect on it. So the bike protect is now done, so let's get the bottom bracket in. Bottom bracket in, and unfortunately the bottom bracket is actually screwed. Put it in now just to get everything set up, but a new one's going to need to be ordered. Next, it's a bit of internal routing, so I'm going to route the outer cable, or the cable outer for the dropper post. That's the outer in for the dropper post. I've left these loose for when I do the final adjustments, then I'll pop them in. Next, let's put the cranks on. Cranks are in. You can probably hear how bad the bearing is. Unfortunately, I left this bottom bracket bearings in the sunlight. I think that might have done something. They were fine the other week. Anyway, moving on to the headset. We'll get the headset in now. And that's the headset in. Next, let's just put the rear derailleur on. So that's the rear mech in. So next I'm going to set up the wheels, basically put on the disc rotors, the cassette, inner tubes and tyres. So that's the wheel set up, so I think forks set up next. Yeah, the forks are on. I've also put on the the stem and stem cap and head doctor and spacers, because I need to be able to hold it all in, obviously. So next I'm going to put in the dropper post, I think. So that's the dropper post in, and there's a lever, leaving some slack at the moment for just some fine adjustments, but yep, cool. Next I'm going to do the brakes. These are already hosed up, so luckily bar some hose shortening, I'm not going to have to do full bleeds. Yay, brilliant. So the brakes are in, the levers are on, the hoses are on, brake discs on. I obviously put the wheels on to help align the brake calipers. So unfortunately that is way too long, so I am going to have to do some cable shortening on the rear, but you know, we'll figure that out when I know where the levers are going and everything. But next I'm going to do gears. No, I'm going to do chain next. Yeah, I'm going to do the chain. And that's all the gears on with the pedals. So the only thing to go now is I've got Wahoo sensors and bottle cage. I won't bore you with those, but we'll come back in a moment when we're outside after I've done all of the fine tuning bits. And we're finished, almost. Got this to deal with, but I'll leave that for another day. I really can't be doing with brakes today, but yeah.